If you have a child in an SEMH school that is meant to be trauma informed, I really hope it wasn't at the one that I was at. I had only done SEMH work in one of them, and that was fine. This school horrified me, and I pray that this school is the only one that does this, but from my research, that's not the case. Trauma-informed teaching is known to be no consequences, but that's incorrect. It's not that. But unfortunately, I saw a lot of practices that could border on abuse. I only lasted 6 weeks, so there's going to be a sticker here or here which explains about different levels of trauma and the requirements for basic staff, all staff, to have before they work with kids in a trauma-informed school. The school that I went into had the biggest turnover of agency staff I've ever seen. No, there was one bigger, but this was high up on there. You didn't even get an email address where we went. You didn't get to know details because they knew you wouldn't be there that long. I didn't have half of what's on this list at all. And I know that most of the staff there didn't have it. The lack of what correct trauma-informed teaching is was horrific. The lack of consequences was terrible. Actions were happening. Things were being destroyed in classrooms. Staff members were being assaulted. And the safe spaces, which were effectively cupboards that had a window and had a seated area. Some of them were carpeted, some of them weren't. The children were shut in them. And the rule was that they were only meant to be used so the child could regulate themselves. And the child was meant to go in them on their own. But they were being used as punishments and threats. These children were being told this or safe space. Straight away, this or safe space. There was no negotiation. There was nothing because the staff were exhausted. There is another sticker I'll put in here, which says about regulating yourself and the students. Staff in SEMH schools do not get enough breaks. We get one break at lunch, that's it. So when you have a class of students that are literally rioting and assaulting you, you don't get a break. You have to keep going. Staff would take themselves off to the toilet for a long time to cry or go find other staff members to cry to. There was tears every day. The safe spaces were used as a deterrent, and I saw children being put into those spaces and they were like they were possessed. They were put in there for the safety of the other students, but the problem was the longer they were in those spaces, the worse they got, the more upset, and the trauma that we are giving those children for putting them in those safe spaces for that long. I hate to think what it's going to do to them in the long term.